Hi, everybody, and thank you for joining us for another edition of the MMT Social Hour. I am your host, Jesse Fouts, and tonight I'm joined by Nikki Kennedy,
Hi.
Jenna Ensign,
Hey y'all.
and Stephanie Martin.
Hello.
And we are going to be talking to you tonight about the Disney dining plan, in specific, the actual Disney dining plan. So everybody, if you've been paying attention, you know that Disney dining plans are coming back in 2024. So I thought it'd be fun to have the team sit down and think about how they would do the Disney dining plan for a day. And I know there's some questions surrounding the Disney dining plan, like, is it worth it? How does it work? What do you get on the Disney dining plan? Those types of things. So we're going to have some fun tonight, go through what each of the team members would select. We're going to calculate it, tell you a few things about what we think our best tips for using the dining plan are and what maybe some of the worst uses are. So I say we jump right in and just start talking about the dining plan here. So I don't know about you guys, but I'm actually very excited about the dining plan coming back. What do you think? What's everybody's thoughts here?
It's been long awaited. I'm so excited.
Yep. I just got back from a week-long trip to Disney, and I wish we would have had the dining plan.
Yeah. And I think one of the things is you're watching this, you're going to understand that, and I think we've mentioned this before in other episodes, that nobody does Disney the same, right? And I think you're going to find that some people will look at the dining plan and say, well, that really doesn't work for my family. And that's okay. Don't feel like you have to do the Disney dining plan. But for me, I think it adds another element of that Disney bubble, that inclusive feeling to a Disney vacation. If you're staying on property, which we'll talk about this, but if you're staying on property, that's just an added layer, an added benefit that you're going to take advantage of for your Disney vacation. So, well, let's talk about, what is exactly included with the Disney dining plan? Now, again, there are different dining plans. There's two different dining plans. We're not talking about the quick service dining plan tonight, but it works pretty much similar. As you can imagine, it's just for quick service. But the classic Disney dining plan, this is going to be one snack credit, one quick service meal credit, one table service credit, and a refillable resort mug. Now, I've put this down here so you can see kind of what that cost is going to equal out to. So you're looking at about $94.28. So, $94 per person that's ages 10 plus per day, and $29.69 per person that's ages 3 to 9. Of course, children ages under 3, they're going to be able to eat off their parents' plate. So you're not going to see a charge for that. And it's important to note that these are per person per day, these credits, and except for the refillable resort mug, which is one per person for the entire length of whatever that stay that dining plan is attached to. So thoughts on this? I mean, what do we notice right offhand that's different than our 2020 or prior to 2023 dining plan?
We're missing a snack credit.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. Another thing too is we've seen now, of course, it's been 3 years almost since we've actually had the dining plan, or actually it'll be 4 by the time it comes out almost. So inflation is all you see set in. So you see the pricing is a lot more at $94. It's almost, it's over $20 more per day per person for that Disney plan. And again, like you said, we actually lost a snack credit there. But the great thing is, this is a great way if you're budgeting for a Walt Disney World vacation and you want to take one of that extra, stresses off of how much should I budget for food. This is a great way to do it. So here are some things I think we need to know before we get into what our selections would be. And, a couple of points. So first off, this does not include gratuity. So you still will end up paying about an 18% gratuity on top of this. So definitely that's just going to be norm. But even if you're not dining, on the dining plan, you're paying gratuity anyway. So you still need to factor that in. Go ahead.
Well, yeah, you have to be on site to get it too. So like, I know some people like to stay off site and save a little bit of money, but if you're on site, you can prepay for your food. So that's a good way to get everything taken care of before you depart for your vacation.
Absolutely.
And then it's all or nothing, right? So if all 4 of us are staying in a room, all 4 of us have to get the dining plan. We can't just say Jesse wants it and nobody else does. So that's something else to be mindful
I will
of.
say the kids price though is like way more. I feel like there was a lot more of an upcharge with the adults, but the kids one, if you add that up, is actually really good, especially like those character meals.
That's super
with
reasonable.
3 kids in my room, like that really would save us money.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I wonder if it's because, and this is another point on here, I wonder if it's because alcohol is included with your meal credits,
probably.
your quick service and your sit-down dining. But yeah, I think when you're talking about character meals and you talk about the cost of going to a character meal, and you look at that, I mean, that's where you could really rack up for your savings, especially if you know that you want to do Tusker House at Animal Kingdom or Chef Mickey at Contemporary or, Crystal Palace inside the Magic Kingdom. This is a great way to start looking at that and say, hey, I know ahead of time what I'm paying and, I got it taken care of. Yes, Jenna, you made a good point. It's all or nothing, and it's for the length of your stay.
Right.
Can anybody think of a way, like, I have a hack, and I'm not going to put it out there, but can you think of an idea to use the dining plan, maybe where you don't have to pay for it over a long period of time? Any ideas there?
What do you mean, like a split stay?
There you go, like a split stay.
Okay.
I was like, you're paying for it 30 days before, no matter what. I was confused how you were not paying for it.
Right, but if you do a split stay, let's say you check in for a 4-night stay and then you have a 5th that's a different room, separate room, you still get to use it, and then you head out early on day 6, then you're not paying for it on on night 5. Does that make sense?
That's right.
Yep. Yeah. So there, I remember when, we would used to, with the old Disney dining plans, that was one of the tricks that we would take advantage of, is trying to, maybe do 2 nights here, 2 nights there, or 1 night here and purchase the dining plan for 1 day. And then, that way we had a refillable resort mug. We did our character meal. We did a quick service somewhere. But, just a fun tip, a workaround there. So, how about credit usage? You just alluded to this, Jenna. How does that work?
Well, on your day of check-in, you can use your credits, and then you have to use them by midnight on your day of checkout. So whatever your checkout is. So like, let's say our checkout is tomorrow. We need to make sure we use them all before we leave the resort tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Stephanie, can you think of a reason why you would need to use credits before the day that they're allotted for, maybe?
The only thing that I could think of, again, is the split stay. If you are checking in somewhere before the package where your meals start, if you wanted to, if you were 1 night at Polynesian because you came in early or something, and then your package doesn't start until you check into Wilderness Lodge or whatever, you might want to use them for Polynesian,
or character dining.
Yeah, or character dining.
Right.
Yeah.
So like if you have 5 nights and you really, let's say you want to eat at Cinderella's Royal Table, when you get there on your first Magic Kingdom day, you'll have to use a credit from later on in the week.
That's true.
It's 2 credits.
Yeah,
that's right.
2 credits.
Yeah.
So that's
I like these math things. I like figuring out where I can use my credits.
and that's part of it. That's part of the planning. I remember, anybody who knows me knows I love spreadsheets, and I built like a whole.
I'm sure every trip had a dining plan spreadsheet.
Oh yeah.
I used to budget to the dollar. I
believe it.
We want to eat here. This is what we can order to get the best out of it. I mean, and I'll tell you what, we never got taken over on the dining plan. In fact, I felt like we took Disney for a run on their money, because we would know exactly what snacks to get, and even what the best snack to take home is if we had extra credits left over. But
no bags of chips for you.
No bags.
No bananas. No. And here I am. I'm like, it's fine. You want the $7 whatever? Yeah, that's great. You can get it. We're not planners. I'm like, it's fine. Whatever you want. Yes, it's not on the dining plan. Don't care. You could buy it.
Right.
And I'm like, 3 kids, you have 1 snack. I don't care what it is, but you have 1, and I don't want to hear it again. So
we're splitting that Mickey pretzel because we're going to use your other one later.
I know how this works.
You got to do it how you got to do it. But yeah, an interesting point is that you are going to have some meals that are considered signature dining experiences where you're going to have to use a second table service credit. So it's a 2 credit meal, so to speak. So, definitely.
And I want to chime in with that. It makes it so you don't have to prepay either. I know I had a lot of clients that were not loving it. They had to prepay Royal Table when the dining plan went away.
Yeah, that's true.
That is a good point. I didn't even think about that. So very, very good point.
Instead of a couple $100 before you even get there,
Hey, that's just like the dining plan, though. You prepay
it. But not 60 days, 30 days.
Yes.
So I would say, and as you look at stuff like Hoop-de-Doo Review or things, those types of dinners, those are great for that purpose, and using those credits to pull ahead. But if you want to be frugal with your credits and actually spread them out, you totally can. So what I tasked the team with doing here tonight was to pretend you're going to have the Disney dining plan for just one day. Now we know that this is probably not the normal mode of operation for people going to Walt Disney World. You're not just coming down for one day, staying on property. But if you only had it for one day, I wanted the team to think about where they would eat with it, what they would do, and I've calculated all out the numbers, and we're gonna check it out, see how they did. So I'm gonna pick on Stephanie. Stephanie, we're gonna go to you first. Okay. So Stephanie, why don't you take us through where you are actually going to be eating on your dining plan?
So we always are at Epcot because that's my kids' favorite park. We actually just spent 2 days there this past week.
I want to say, yes, kids' favorite park. How many people are like, we're skipping Epcot with our kids?
Right.
It's my kids' favorite park too. So sorry, just
we're there
make
all
a point of
the
that
time.
because I love
all
Epcot with kids.
Yes. So, but
okay, sorry,
of course,
I'll be quiet now.
No, that's totally fine. And of course, but Epcot has some of the best dining too.
They do.
Like some of the best food. And so our snack is always going to be stopping over at Caramel Couche in Germany for their caramel popcorn, because a small bag of that does count as a snack, and that's a very good value for your snack credit. Then we always like to hit character breakfast because my kids are 3 and 5, and our new favorite is Akerhouse. Whatever, how you say it.
In
Norway. The princess one in Epcot is what I call it.
the princess breakfast in Epcot. But yeah, so we would eat there for breakfast. That one is going to be 1 credit for breakfast, but it's not cheap either. So that's a good use of your table service. And then quick service, probably that evening, we love going over to eat at Regal Eagle in US. So it's really good barbecue and everything. So I would obviously get the pulled pork barbecue because that's my favorite. So that's our day.
Fantastic selection, Stephanie. And I'll just say, I don't think anybody knows how to pronounce Akershus. That's not.
Yes, you do. It's the princess dining in Epcot.
Princess dining in Epcot.
I call it Akershus.
We call it Cinderella's Royal Table 2.0.
There you go.
The cheap version, the wish version.
Right.
Yep.
Interestingly enough, because you did choose character breakfast there, it's interesting to note that if you're looking at this and this is one of those restaurants that for lunch and dinner is a 2 table service credit meal. It's 1 for breakfast. So definitely that's something you've got to pay attention to when you're looking at what you're selecting for your table services, if you're trying to budget your credits to go a longer way. Fantastic options. Wow. So how do you think you did on the dining plan compared to out of pocket? What do you think?
From what my bank account is telling me from last week, I think I did pretty well.
All right, let's see. All right, let's see what your grand total is. Now, notice I did add in the refillable resort mug, and I do want to make a caveat here because, we would actually split the cost of the resort mug over the length of your stay.
Sure.
But for fun, we're adding this in. So if you would have purchased the dining plan for one day, your total, if you would have purchased all of these items out of pocket, it would have cost you $103.10. So you're actually in the positive here by almost $10 versus the plan.
Like we're on like a game show. Like,
I know.
did you do it? Is it gonna be red or green when he flips the slide?
I should have done something like that. I didn't
Right? We need a big buzzer.
You failed.
dun, 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 like price.
Yeah. I do want to point out though, buying the dining plan now, you're paying 2023 prices, and it inevitably is going to be more expensive next year for food. That's just how it goes. So I wouldn't be surprised if that's even like $113.10 by the time you go October 24.
Exactly.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, you're locking in your dining plan price this year. If you put it on the package, you're locking in these prices today. So that's great. Great point there, Nikki. Great point. So I think we're going to pick on Jenna next. Jenna, before we pick on you, I'm gonna call you on the spot. I'm gonna call you out on the spot. I want to know, Jenna, what do you feel like? What's your thoughts or your opinions on the dining plan?
I am not a dining plan fan for myself. We are signature dining eaters. We do not drink soda, so that refillable resort mug does nothing for me.
Coffee,
I generally get
coffee.
Yeah, but I don't like that coffee. I'm a snob.
Does nothing for me.
Stop it. Y'all know who I am as a person, okay?
You can hawk those mugs. You can just hawk them off to some.
That's true.
That is true. That is how you should make that. Just have, and I'm pretty sure that's how you get never go
I
back to Disney World. But it's fine.
Let's
Disney,
just put
if you're
this out
watching,
there.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
It's a joke.
Jesse made fun of me for my choices earlier because I do like an adult beverage or two, but I honestly don't drink with my dinner. I like to drink out and about in Epcot or wherever, but we're just not big Disney dining plan people. We eat signature almost every single night. I'm not a dessert person. I like my appetizers. So for me personally, this was a difficult task because this is not who I am.
Right.
I also don't stay at value resorts unless I'm required. Okay.
Yeah, well, where are you staying this week?
Stop it. Art of Animation. Let's not talk about it. I feel a little embarrassed.
Add the dining plan.
So funny enough, and I do want to make this point. I did not actually calculate what your dessert choice would be with your table service credit, or it's with the table service, not with quick service.
Right.
So
I added it in there because
again, your price, you would have actually get more value. You would have got more value. Well, Jenna, let's look at your choices and let's break them down. So go ahead and
there's my num num cookie. So I'm a chocolate chip cookie fiend. Gideon's is my number one choice, but I'm assuming that's not going to be on the dining plan. So I got a num num cookie from Hollywood Studios. We love Hollywood Studios. I also really, really, really love Woody's Lunchbox and their barbecue brisket melt. That's really easy for us to eat too with my egg allergy boy. Their potato barrels. And then of course I'm going to get a bottle of water if you're going to make me. Otherwise I'm going to ask for free tap water. I'm
going to make you.
I mean, we do. That's what we do. I carry my little Owala water abound. Stop it. And then table service, we're gonna do Mama Melrose's. I'm gonna get their charred strip steak, and it's got a little side. You can either do like Alfredo, which is not really Italian. We found out yesterday. Some gelato and a Coca-Cola. And of course, I'm gonna get my refillable resort mug that I'm not gonna use.
Right. It's going to go in a cabinet somewhere. She's going to toss it.
Where's the buzzer, Jesse? She's out.
Right?
So,
actually, I did have a lot of refillable resort mugs from previous days, and they're all in the trash.
Oh, that hurts my heart.
I kind of hate that, though, because, like, what are you going to do with it? It's not like you can, like, revamp it, like, once you get there. It's kind of silly.
Great travel mugs, okay?
No, they're not big enough.
They only hold,
they hold, like, 12 ounces. It's like a shot.
Yeah, I
take a shot of water. No, thank you.
They should have like you get $5 back if you return it, and they can recycle them.
A recycling thing, yeah.
Right.
Well, let's see how you did dollar-wise here. All right, we're going to see.
Probably broke pretty close to even.
She tried
There
to
you
break
go.
even. I guarantee it.
Look at that. So if we took, again, if we took.
Take that mug off and I'm doing better.
She was trying to debunk it.
and then dessert. Well, we didn't throw in dessert. That's fine.
She had a dessert on there. She had gelato.
I did.
Oh,
I
yes,
had a
you did.
gelato.
Oh, my
I put
goodness.
my dessert on there.
All right.
It was $6.25 for one scoop of gelato.
She picked the cheapest dessert.
But I don't like the rest of them. I picked what I would honestly eat in a day. Like, I'm not trying to beat the system. I'm just trying to eat my food, okay?
Well, you know what? That's fine. And you know what? That's fine. Nobody Disney's the same way.
They
Jenny,
don't.
You are allowed to hate the dining plan.
I don't hate it, but for my family personally, it just doesn't work. Because if we were really doing my day in Disney, we would wake up, I would have a Starbucks breakfast sandwich and a coffee, and then I would go get $2.25 popcorn. I sent that to you, Jesse. Like, I sent my day off the dining plan. And I came out cheaper than trying to be on the dining plan.
Know what? That works.
The dining plan's great, guys. Definitely get the dining.
At least we know that we're being honest.
Well,
right. There's no hiding opinions.
So I think so. Again, this is just a great way to show everybody it's just different, right?
Well,
I mean,
different. Also,
selections.
We like to spend our money on food. Like, to be quite honest, I would spend $750 again on a Victoria and Albert's meal, but I know not everybody would do that. Like,
right.
So that's not included. And then when you start taking into account
you need a bougie dining plan.
Well, they used to have it. We
deluxe.
couldn't eat it.
That's
right.
true.
Yeah.
They used to have it, and we ate way too much food that trip. We tried to do that.
Yeah.
Well, Nikki, let's go see how you are going to do the dining plan.
Yes, let's see.
Let's go through your day on the dining plan.
Let's see. My day by Jessie. So 100% transparent. I have only used the dining plan one time. It was when I was with people that had used the dining plan a bunch of times. Stephanie, actually, I think it was the first night I met you. And everyone's like throwing stuff out, like knowing what to do. And I'm like, yeah, now I tap my band. It was like my first Disney World trip, okay? So when I could order whatever I wanted to on the menu, I was like getting all the things at Pecos Bill. So I like the dining plan because I got my nachos and it was wonderful. Okay, anyways, so I am getting a Mickey pretzel with cheese dip from Dino Bites. Okay, I like it. And then this is a lot of meat. Ribs, chicken, and pulled pork sampler with a rotten apple. You got me a rotten apple drink.
No, so the rotten apple drink is it's a mixture of Angry Orchard apple cider.
Oh, okay.
Angry Orchard. Wow, I'm tongue twisted here. With Fireball whiskey, so it's like
you and that Fireball.
You ordered it for me, Nikki. It's cool.
I always order rotten apples. It's totally fine. That's my drink of choice.
She orders a meat platter with a rotten apple. Done.
That is my jam. Okay, and then I'm gonna go with the adult buffet with an African mimosa. That sounds pretty. I need a picture of that. From Tusker House. Oh, and it's breakfast character meal, which I love their breakfast character meal.
I love their breakfast too.
And I have 3 kids and start my day and end my day with a Diet Coke. So a refillable resort mug is right up my alley.
Yes. So how do you think you would have done on the dining plan here with it?
Well, you don't calculate in my Diet Cokes because if you think I'm kidding, I'm not. You got at least 4 a day. And those suckers are expensive.
You're talking $5 a pop for a soda. Yeah.
Yeah, that's $20 on that. So, which you can buy that separate. It doesn't have to be with the dining plan, but just throwing that out there. But I am guessing with my rotten apple and my mimosa, I'm doing really good.
All right, let's check this out. You're going to like this.
Okay, I'm going to be in the green.
There you go.
Way in the green here. So $129.82 out of pocket.
I am saving all the dough.
Based on 2023 prices, again, not adjusting for whatever inflation will be in 24 or whatever prices will be there. So, so there you go. Now, I should note, none of my totals are including gratuity. They all include tax, not gratuity.
Right, but the dining plan
So
does
that'll
not
be-
include gratuity either. So that's something to completely remember, that you need to tip your server.
Yes.
Yes, you do.
Dining plan or not.
Yes, absolutely.
Mhm.
Make sure you do that for 100%. So, well, I'm going to take you through my selections now.
All right.
So and this is just,
Are you taking us to Magic Kingdom? Because we've been to every park.
actually, I'm going to take you. I'm actually going back to Epcot, but I'm going to leave Epcot for dinner next.
You're going to take us
Hula
around the
hoop?
world?
Yep.
A
So-
warped hula hoop.
So actually,
It sounds really cool.
I'm going to go get coffee in my resort refillable mug, right? I'm going to get coffee. I'm going to skip breakfast that morning because I want to save room for all the goodies that I'm going to have later. All right. So I've got my coffee. I'm hitting Epcot. I'm having a great day. I decide, man, I want lunch, wait for early lunch at La Cantina de San Angel, which is right outside of La Hacienda de San Angel. So very
And
great.
you're starting the wrong way. We're already starting off
No,
on a
you're
bad
starting the right way. And everybody knows you go to Mexico, baby. You go to Mexico. So as soon as
No, you were starting right if you started with your snack. You have to start in France.
no, well,
Yes, start in France.
I'll get to France. All right. So I'm gonna go get the tacos de barbacoa with the Classica margarita on the rocks. And that's going to be fantastic. And you can see it right there. It's got like that black ant sugar or salt rim on it. Very good.
Did
All
you
right.
just call it a black ant?
Yeah. Black
Yeah.
ant.
That's what that's called?
Yeah.
It's like yeah.
It's not true
Really?
ants, though, Nikki.
No, it's just the black salt. That's
I
all
mean,
they call
I
it.
knew that. Sorry.
And then
On
what I'm
apples
gonna
and
do-
ants. It's weird. I'm not a drinker.
Look, then I'm gonna make my way slowly around the World Showcase, heading toward France. And then by the time I get to France, it's nice and hot. And I really love this snack, by the way. And I'm gonna butcher what it's called.
Do you want me to help you?
I'm gonna do it, and then you tell me how
Okay.
far.
Hear it.
Okay.
Croquet glacier. There we go.
Nailed it.
It's croque
Yeah.
glacé.
No, it's
And
not.
then-
It's the ice cream sandwich from France.
Croquet. That's
Right.
right. It looks like croquet. And for those of you that are wondering what this is basically like a sophisticated ice cream sandwich. It's a
delightful.
scoop of basically their gelato, and what they do is they put it in a brioche bun and they press it together, and it's so incredible. It's hot. It's like a panini with an ice cream. It's really good. And then
Did you know that they also make martinis there?
I did actually. I did.
I wonder if that's on the snack menu.
Could be.
Probably not.
If you
No.
want it, it's probably not, Jenna.
And again, why it doesn't work for me.
Well, so then I'm gonna, I'm gonna have to walk around Epcot a lot because I've got to work up my appetite for a late dinner at my absolute favorite sit-down restaurant at Walt Disney World. And that's going to be Ohana at the Polynesian Resort. So I'm going to hop on the monorail, head over there for a Hawaiian family-style dinner. And I'm going to get the warped hula hoop cocktail. You can get a variety of cocktails there too. You can get the lapu,
The back scratcher is so good. Yeah.
but I'm going to get the warped hula hoop cocktail, and I'm going to enjoy all you care to enjoy: steak, shrimp, chicken on the skewers, their hot
Noodles and
drink.
pot
Oh
stickers.
my goodness! But the best thing there is the dessert, and it's that. Oh gosh, it's like
He's about to get in
bread
the car
pudding.
and drive over right
It's
now.
It's the bread pudding. It's the banana bread pudding. It's so good. And I'll tell you, with that, they bring the molten caramel and the vanilla ice cream, and then you just put it on there, and you die, and you're good. You can't eat.
How
anymore.
are you getting back to your resort?
I think I'm going to stay at the Polynesian. I don't.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think that's so that way
Grab
I
you
can.
some coffee to roll.
I'll stop by Captain Cook's downstairs and get me another coffee too on the way out. So. And then, of course, again, in my resort refillable mug. So let's see
I'm
how
assuming
I
you're
did.
in the green, Jesse.
I'm pretty sure I'm in the green.
I
But
bet so.
crazily
There
enough,
you go.
I did the best.
Nikki
Check
did
me
better.
out.
So,
Get it, girl.
but still, I think.
All that meat.
Oh man, Ohana is incredible. If you have not,
She was talking about her meat platter at Animal Kingdom
with my rotten apple.
You have 3 kids. You have 3 kids to feed, so you know.
Well, I mean, that's
I have a husband that would down
too.
that.
But think about that. So if you want to try to keep your quick service, you buy these large quick service meals and then you split between a few people, and then you can spread it out so you can use those 2 dining.
You can do breakfast and lunches, or
right.
Or my kids split kids meals right now because I'm sick of buying food that they just throw away. So
do you want to know what I do
with meals?
Since I have 1 child, right, and I don't get to get regular stuff because he's allergic to everything, I bring Ziploc bags and put the food he doesn't eat in Ziploc bags and then toss it in my backpack. And when he screams at me that he's hungry later, I take out his Ziploc and let him have his chicken tendies and French fries.
There you go.
Do it.
And that is why you don't use the dining plan.
Speaking of that, so let's talk about real quick. And I, I know we could park here probably, but I want you to each think of one. What's one of the worst uses of the Disney Dining Plan credit?
Not using it.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
I've had people do that. They're like,
leaving them on the table.
I'm like, well, that sucks. Yeah. Like, you didn't spend it. They're not going to be like, oh, here's your $6 snack.
Right. Well, I mean, like the bananas, because I think you can get like fruit.
Yeah.
Things that cost less than $5, I don't think are a good
like
snack.
cookies, cupcakes. They're all like $4.20, something like that.
Yeah.
Even a bottle of water.
Right. That's what I was about to say. A bottle of water, a bottle of soda.
Yeah.
No, I mean,
bag of Lay's chips is mine. I'll change it.
Yeah.
And if you're here for listening to this, and I guess what I would say, I'd back up and say maybe not the worst use, but the worst value of it.
Yeah.
Because, again, think about it. This is your vacation. So this is just part of that all-inclusive feel. So if you want that bag of Lay's or that apple or that banana, get it. But just know, again, it's
you're being judged.
Or even like at the end of some days it's hot, right? So some days we don't eat for a lot of the time because it's hot. So we drink our water and then we go eat our 2 meals a day and call it what it is. But you have those snacks, grab a Rice Krispie treat to go home and bring to your family, or the bag of chips to eat on your ride home that you don't have to buy at the gas station. So Nikki was right. Not using it actually is probably the worst use.
Right.
Yeah.
The caramel popcorn, caramel couche is a very good snack to take home with you too, by the way.
It's so good.
Yeah. That stuff is good for days.
So good. Yeah, like it lasts days. I don't think ours even lasted out of to Norway. It's gotten so fast.
Can you think of a good use of one of the best uses of the Disney Dining Plan credit?
It's those character breakfasts that are single credits, those buffets.
Any character dining that is a single credit, absolutely.
Single credit.
Because I think some of those character dining for the kids even, just, because I happen to know the price off the top of my head, not that I was paying them this past week. They're like 30, they're in the 30s per child. And if your kid's already paying that price for just a day, like you've already eaten up the entire exactly.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think I absolutely, one of my favorite snacks on the dining plan is the funnel cakes at Hollywood Studios out the Oasis Canteen right outside of Hollywood.
I did not know those are included. Yeah, those are like $10.
Yeah. Absolutely. There's so many good uses, like where you can look at
Comforts. I think is Creature Comforts the one that has like the macaroni and cheese with like the pulled pork on it and stuff.
Yes.
Oh no, that's
which was that?
Mr. Kamal's. No, it's
Mr. Kamal's. I can't remember.
Mr. Kamal's has the fries. Yeah, but
Kamal's has the fries. Yeah.
8 spoons.
That's it. Yep.
I got
Thank
so
you.
excited.
Yes, that's it.
My least favorite part, but I know my food.
But that's like a meal.
Right.
No,
right,
for sure.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
your least favorite park, Jenna. How are we friends? I'm like Art of Animation, Animal Kingdom.
We went through
Dining
fire
plans.
Together, Nikki. Come on. We went through fire. That's why we're friends.
Steal it all.
We
so I
put
have a
it all
question
up.
really quick. Is Garden Grill lunch or dinner, is that a 2 credit?
It's one.
It's one.
Is it just one? So that would be a really good one too, because that one also.
Yeah,
is
so
expensive.
breakfast,
I know
lunch,
from
and
past
dinner.
trips.
Right.
Awesome.
So breakfast opened whenever you see this. It's open. Breakfast.
It opened today, the 14th.
Yeah.
Oh, did it really? That's,
So now
we're getting there.
Now we just need to get 1900 Park Fair back, and we'll be.
They can keep that.
I
and
want
their
lunch at Be Our
strawberries, too.
Guest or breakfast at Be Our Guest.
Yeah, the
nice.
food service breakfast. Oh my goodness. You talk about a good use of the dining plan. That was fantastic.
I missed that one.
Well, if you're watching and still watching, and you haven't just scrolled on somewhere, we want to know.
Thank you.
2024.
Thanks for listening to our banter.
Yes, please. But yeah, let us know in the comments below. Are you going to be getting the dining plan when you visit in 2024? And as always, if you are looking to plan a vacation in 2024, you've never been, and you want some guidance and you want somebody to help you, reach out to one of our expert agents at Marvelous Mouse Travels. We have a whole team of highly trained individuals that will be able to take care of you, and it doesn't cost you a penny more. Marvelous Mouse Travels is one of the top travel agencies in the nation for Disney travel. So again, we take it very serious here, and you'll be connected with an agent that will definitely be able to help you plan your next Disney vacation. And you can reach out to the address that's scrolling on the bottom of the screen. And just in case you're just listening to this and you're not actually watching the screen, that's going to be marvelousmousetravels.com/contact us. And, definitely fill out that form. But wherever you are, whatever you're doing, we hope that you have a marvelous your evening. And thank you for watching us on another edition of the.
I have a question.
Oh, wait a minute.
They need to comment who did it best.
Ooh,
who ordered the food the best?
Okay.
I want to see these comments, and I want them to say me, even though I didn't order for myself.
All right, yeah.
Jenna loses. It's
fine.
Jenna,
Jenna got 4th place. Yeah, there we go.
No. Hey now.
No, but yes.
Let us know who wins. Thank you. Sorry.
No, you're fine. Bye, everybody.
Bye.